Well, what I'd like to show you now are 3 classic camp stoves. These were made for the hikers. They come in a nice little case that would fit into the side pouch of a Rambler's bag. Made in Sweden, very popular in the 1940s and 50s and into the 60s. They were replaced by the modern canister stoves because these sort of stoves need a preheat in order to work. And I'll show you what I mean here. In order to light the stove, you have to give it a shot of some sort of starter to heat the bell and the tank up, because these are self-pressurized stoves. I have a special bottle with alcohol that I put onto the stove, and after heating the stove up, I've already preheated these. So we could just jump right in and see how they work. Here's the 70, or excuse me, the 80. Okay, now this flare-up is a result of not having the burner bell really hot enough. So what I get is a squirt of gasoline, raw gas, out of the stove before the bell is hot enough to vaporize it. I don't want to burn up anything else, so I'll turn it down. Now the bell is hot, we'll try again. Like that. Now once the bell is hot, that gasoline sprays right out of the tank, hits that bell, and is vaporized. Let's see what we can do with the 71 over here. I had it preheated and running earlier. We'll see if it just jumps to life. It needs a little bit of preheating, get the bell hot. It's easy to see why these stoves were replaced by the modern butane stoves. Trying to do something like this in a tent or after a long day on the trail when you're tired lead to a lot of accidents, a lot of mistakes. Okay, now the bell is heating up. The gasoline sprays out, and it'll settle down into a nice purr, like the 80 next to it. On the end down here, I have what's called a British Army No. 7. It's basically one of these stoves, and it's been placed inside of a heavy-duty military case. And I'm going to heat the bell. And while the bell is heating, I'll show you this stove is made out of parts. In order to make a stove that would fit into this case, I had to take the adjustment and the works and the valve off of a Siva 123 and put it onto a Primus 71 tank. Because the 123 tank won't fit inside the case, and the works here would be too tall to fit into the case. Now let's see if we can fire up this British Army No. 7. I hope you can hear me over the roaring of these roaring stoves. Now it's heating the bell. Let's turn that back a bit because we got a lot of raw gasoline there. It is not the sort of thing that it has a long learning curve. It's not the sort of stove you could take out on the first time on a trip and just expect to burst right into life. Now I got a problem with the stove on the end. Okay, the burner is slightly blocked, and the jet needs to be cleared out. I'm not going to do that right here and right now, but you would have to have a tool like this along, and you have to take that tiny wire on the end of this tool and put it into the jet to clear it. Okay? That would be another hassle. So that's why they went to the butane stoves. All you have to do is turn it on and light it. You wouldn't have to fool around clearing a blocked jet with a tool. And we'll turn these down. I'll turn down the 80 first so you can hear the 71 running. The 80 is the loudest of the three. And you can see that just purrs right along. And the case, of course, is a built-in windshield. If the tank overheats, these safety valves here will open up, and a tiny little candle flame will come out of them, releasing the pressure inside. Now, all my years of working with these, I've only seen that happen once or twice. And we'll just turn that one off. And it's amazing how quiet it gets when these old stoves are turned off. Anyone who's been camping out in the wilderness will tell you that hearing one of these stoves roar along and then suddenly be turned off is quite amazing. So there you are. There's 3 old camp stoves, Optimus 80, Primus 71, and the 71 in a military case, making it a stove gasoline burner number 7.